Yeah, Gacha game is a video game that implements a gachapon. So yeah, it's a play on the word gachapon. Machine-style mechanics. Similar to loot boxes, gacha games entice players to spend in-game currency to receive a random in-game item. Some in-game currencies generally can be gained through gameplay, and others by purchasing it from the game publisher using real-world money. Most gacha games are free to play and are mobile games.
And you can win NFTs.
No, that's something else.
I'm sure there are, in fact, gacha games that have NFTs as...
Yeah, but they all died out.
Why do you keep falling off here, Mikey?
Because there are blue coins on this hillside. You gotta
Butterfinger's
land
Mike
on these little platforms to get them.
Oh, my favorite edit. My favorite edit
You're just
of mine
asking
was
me
when...
to edit something onto my BVM?
No, it was when Mikey asked me to edit in a clip of Star Trek, but I edited in a picture of the Gordy movie from 1995.
It was like, Ethan, edit in the Domjot table. And then it was Gordy.
I edited in like the strangest clip from any movie you'll ever see.
Proud to be a pig and I'm giving up love to my mama hog while she's chilling in the mud. And when it comes to chumps, I'm doing damage, cause Gordy ain't going out like a ham sandwich.
Did you watch that part? I think Alonzo still watched the parts then.
Which one?
The Alicia Dragoon playthrough?
Yes.
Did you like that pig clip that I edited in?
Yeah. Didn't hate it.
Didn't hate it.
What a glowing endorsement.
Yeah, that's kind of Alonzo on anything. We get excited about nerdy shit.
Pretty cool.
Alonzo's like the normal one of us, and he is like...
Normal's a very strong...
women.
Alonzo actually likes the ones with the boobs.
Well, so do you.
You mean the old ball and chain? Gross.
There's a story I could tell about that, but I'm pretty sure Ethan wouldn't want me to say that on camera, so I won't.
Pause it quick.
You kept...
Ow!
That was there.
Oh, yeah, keep that one.
Yeah. And, of course, Alonzo, it was just a joke. You didn't actually mean it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Right.
If anything knows anything about Ethan is that he's super misogynistic. Super sexist. Hates women.
He hates women almost as much as he hates Mikey. One of my favorite things from the weekend, Alonso, is that Ethan had a calendar in his kitchen, and on it just said Mikey for like 5 days in a row.
It didn't say Mikey comes to visit and Mikey leaves. It just says Mikey, 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 Mikey. We still haven't uploaded any videos of Mike and I playing.
I might actually be able to get the 100 coin in this one while we're just
Is there a
doing
blue
it.
coin all the way out there on the right?
Yes, but you're meant to do it later because, like, the plot of this level is that there's something polluting the water, and you know, so the first few shines are built around trying to get rid of the pollution.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot you guys recorded some stuff on your own, and you guys never even gotten to it yet.
Yeah, well, part of the problem is that we recorded with 2 microphones in the same room, and the processing required to make that sound, get rid of all the echo and all, because like we have 2 microphones picking up both of us, so there's bleed. So
Why don't you
if we just
put it thing and just having one mic with 2 dudes.
That's what I suggested, but it doesn't sound as good. But now I think we're regretting that decision because Mikey has to put in exponentially more work.
Yeah.
Because they didn't operate at the same speed. Is that right,
it's
Mike?
like the one I was using was like slightly faster than Ethan's. So like every 5 minutes or so I have to manually adjust the positions. I have to like manually sync them up and then run it through a deep bleed filter like 8 times to get rid of the deep bleed or bleed on the audio. So
why can't you ever just do simple things?
And our fucking Mario 3 playthrough was like 6 hours long. So that's gonna be fun.
Mikey can keep that one to edit for himself if he wants. Or
I said that I wanted to edit that one, you were like, no. it's gotta be me, Mikey.
I don't even remember what. We can always X that one in case Alonzo wants to join us for it, but it was the only opportunity we had to play 2 players.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one too. Mikey added in the sound effect.
Ba-da-bum-ba-da-bum.
We'll talk about that one later when it's out. See, you're just getting 100 coins, right?
Well, yeah, I'm doing that and blue coins at the same time, just because
Okay.
there's a bunch of them in these ruins in the walls. What?
So you could fast forward this part if you wanted.
I don't know. Well, we are chatting. Alonzo, have you played Astrobot yet?
No, not yet, but I've been seeing everybody loves it after, this game that was Concord.
What the hell even is that game? That's one of those games that nobody's ever played.
Which one? Concord
It's
or Astrobot?
Concord. It just came out like last month, didn't it?
Yeah, they took it offline.
Yeah, they took it offline because it did so horribly. It was like the Xbox One sales in Japan.
God damn.
And the Xbox did a little bit better.
The Xbox One in its opening weekend, guess how many it sold in Japan? I still remember the number.
50?
Well, it's like in the United States where it launched, it sold like 1 million, however many they had.
Mm-hmm.
And then like when it was launched throughout Europe, it also did like 150,000 or something. In Japan, guess how many it sold?
Not a lot.
Opening
50?
weekend was 23,500.
Ooh.
That's better than You made it sound like it was like impossible. You made it sound like it was like Robin Thicke's Paula album numbers.
I mean, Japan is like almost roughly a third of the population of the United States, and it only sold
and
that
yet
much.
they still make games and only release them there for some reason.
What's
like you
I
think
don't
they-
know. Yeah.
It's like you'd think that they'd want to maximize their profits by releasing it in every region possible, but then it's like,
yeah,
we're gonna
you'd
make
think so.
we're gonna make a sequel to the Super Nintendo Castlevania game and the Genesis one and put it on PC Engine CD and then only release it in Japan.
Well, here's it's small logic, but the logic to that from a business standpoint, Mikey, is if you reduce the amount of units you got to create and you keep your costs down by therefore not releasing it worldwide, you can have a better control of how the profits or your forecasting can go. If you do the worldwide thing, there's the licensing outside, there's having to
focus
ship
on a
the
narrow
units
scope.
out and everything. So from a smaller project standpoint, yeah, it makes sense to do it just locally.
Well, the real
I get
reason
it.
they did it is because the PC Engine was as popular as the Sega Genesis was over here. The Mega Drive did not do that well in Japan for whatever reason, because the PC Engine came out first, but it was
yeah, then-
delayed.
The PC Engine
coming
came out
out
2
in the
years
US.
before the Genesis. or
Well,
the
that
Mega
makes even
Drive
more
in
sense
Japan.
then, yeah, because if it's already a console that's not selling well, why send it worldwide when you can just limit the damages
Well, it's like
by...
I don't know if Bloodlines came first. I think Bloodlines was 94, right, Ethan?
Yes, it was.
So it was Super Castlevania 4 in 91. Then it was Rondo of Blood on the PC Engine CD in 93, I think. So it was like, well, nobody has a PC or nobody has a TurboGrafx because of how they waited too long to release it in the West, and they made it more expensive.
But
it's
also,
also really
how...
popular here in Japan. It's way more popular than the Mega Drive. So we'll make one for that because it's popular here. But nobody has a fucking turbo, so we
Exactly.
won't bother porting it.
to anything. Remember how, in the early 90s, Sega of America hired, was it Tom Zelensky?
It was that PlayStation guy who said the Saturn was over and it killed the console.
This is before that, though. He slashed the price of the Genesis by $50 so that it was cheaper than the Super Nintendo. He packed in Sonic and he shifted a lot of development to America, or prioritized American developed games.
I'm surprised
here.
the Genesis was... You're saying that before they slashed $50, it was more expensive than the SNES?
No, I think they were both $200 or $250, and then he slashed it $200 when Sonic 1 came out and packaged it with the game. That's why the Genesis went from mediocre sales in 89 and 90 to being actually controlling 50% of the market share, 55% of the market share in 92. It's because it was so popular in the United States because of those changes that they made that got it into more households. They did not do that in Japan. They thought that he was absolutely crazy to bundle their most popular game with the console, not get any sales from it. So they didn't do that in Japan, and then it continued mediocre sales, and by 93 it was really unpopular. Yet Treasure still made Alien Soldier exclusive to the Genesis in 95 and only released it in Japan and Europe, I think, too, but not in the United States. And now that game's like $800 because like they released it for a console in its least popular spot in the world and kept it exclusive there. How are they ever going to make money off of it?
Yeah.
And I have both of those games.
Yes, sir.
If Mikey wants a game selfie, ask
because
for
I
it.
own them.
Does Mikey want to edit in a game selfie because I make funny faces each time?
Yes. Make sure that there's plenty of space around your head so I can reuse it later out of context.
To cut it out? Okay.
Yeah.
I have to show you the one I have
that
with
Ethan
Magician Lord.
Toothface is my favorite.
Yeah, that one's good. Mikey needs to edit in more Mikey faces too, because there's more Ethan faces than anybody.
All right. Well, I just don't take a lot of selfies because I'm an ugly man.
Still, so am I. Look at what we do for a living. We film and record. Yeah, Alonso's too.
Yes. Yeah. Alonso, I must say, you have a lot of riz as an older man.
Oh God! Don't use any of that Gen Alpha stuff. Is it Gen Alpha? Is that the gen that's using all that weird slang, the Skibbity and the Rizzler and all that?
Have you ever heard videos of how English has evolved over the centuries? It's neat. It's still going on now with Gen Alpha.
Okay, what was that?
Come here, mother.
Hold on, Mikey.
Did you say the Rizzler or the Onceler?
The Rizzler.
Okay. My sibling used to be a Onceler stan.
What
the fuck's a Onceler?
What?
It's a it's a character from the animated film The Lorax, starring Danny DeVito and Taylor Swift. Oh. Zac Efron.
Yeah, that 2012 Nothing Burger movie.
Exactly. Back when they were still, I guess they are still making shitty Dr. Seuss movies.
I thought their estate stated that they didn't want any more of their movies.
Well, they said no more live action movies.
Right. After A Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, after the surrealist masterpiece Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, it is a surrealist masterpiece, isn't it?
I would call it that, because it's just like, that movie is so bad, but it's
What's your definition of surrealist masterpiece, though? Like Shrek?
I'm partially kidding. You know,
I know, but like, what is your? I'm curious to know what your definition of surrealist masterpiece is.
I don't know. I haven't seen any legitimate surrealist film, so I can't really comment. But I would say
like
that movie occupies a very interesting space, and that it's not legitimately good. In many ways, it's painful and cringy, but there's something about it where you can't look away. It's like Freddy Got
Yes.
Fingered.
I've never actually watched that one, but I remember my uncle Mikey, I think, took me to see Cat in the Hat in the theater on a time that he visited. He because I wanted to go see the movie, and my mom's like, Ethan, you can't watch it yet. We can't watch it yet because your Uncle Michael is visiting, because it was like a once-in-a-year occasion that we would see them.
Uh-huh.
And he specifically wanted to watch Cat in the Hat in the theater with me, so I couldn't watch it like a week beforehand.
What a poor
You
decision.
got a stay of execution?
Yeah. Well, I think we both liked it. Kind of for the same reason. It's bad, but like it's funny bad. Like vampires suck.
A movie that you
Vampires.
saved up money to see in the theater a second time.
And laughed until I cried, and my friend almost wet his pants.
Is that the movie where
Because-
they have like Dom DeLuise Jr. getting eaten alive?
I don't remember, but there's this one part at the very. Of course, we bought pops with us the first time. Yeah, so we bought pop. We got drinks the first time we went. The second time we couldn't afford it because we scrunched up every penny we could to afford to see the movie again. But like, he drank his whole entire thing, and he really had to pee by the end, but he didn't want to leave because he couldn't stop laughing at the movie. And towards the very end, there's this scene that's so bad he almost pissed his pants. Because it's like, the joke of that one is like, oh, anytime vampires are in the sun. No, vampires don't age except their asses. And late in the movie, the Edward character takes his clothes off in front of a ton of people to show that he sparkles and revealing that he's a vampire. And then he turns around and his ass is all wrinkly, and they're like, oh! And then it's like you're
Check
laughing
this
at
out,
that.
everybody. There's a book behind this door.
Oh, unused assets?
Yeah. It's a
like how they
big
always hide
mystery
those.
what that book is supposed to be for. It's never been discovered.
Oh.
Maybe it's Strongbad's parents.
Dear Strongbad, how come you never take your mask off? Like I've said before, this is not a mask. It's my face. But hey, I'll give it a shot. Oh, I am never gonna do that again. And here's a picture of my parents.
And then somebody
Such a-
took that
that's a-
episode.
It's the funniest screw the audience joke I can think of.
And somebody took that episode, put it in a Flash decompiler to figure out what was on that picture, and it's just text that says "Nice try, Dodongo."
It's so cute. But anyway, to finish the gag, he shows everybody, and he has a wrinkly ass, and they're like, "Oh, gross," because the vampire asses don't age.
Yeah.
But then he turns around, he's like, "Ooh, a penny," and he bends down and then zooms in on the ass as he's bending down. When that joke happened, my friend almost pissed his pants because he was laughing so hard, and his bladder was full from drinking the gigantic pop. Oh, that reminds me of another time we went to a movie and had to piss really bad. Remember when we went to go see Your Name in the theater with like Huss and John?
And I thought you guys went to see that live-action Ghost in the Shell reboot.
No.
And then I
But
was
do you
just like,
remember that,
oh
Alonso?
yeah, you guys went to go see Ghost in the Shell, and you're like, ew, Mikey, why the fuck would we go see that?
We're seeing a limited release. Do you remember that, Alonso?
The Ghost in the Shell?
No, when we went to go see Your Name. Okay, you got me there. You got me. Edited in Ethan is a moron. Ethan is gullible. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
I'm so sorry.
Alonso, you're such a cock. But do you remember when we saw Your Name?
Yeah.
And then John's like, "Oh, we have to go to this theater because it's close to my house. And it's a good theater. We have to go to this one, guys. I got this all worked out."
This particular one before.
Yes, that's right. He hadn't. But they had a machine in the beginning, like one of those ones where you have to cut the little lever, like, to win a prize.
Right.
Inside it, they had a copy of, like, one of the Shrek games on GameCube. And this was 2017.
Totally worth it.
Mikey, clip that giggle for me right now and save it as Mikey Giggle 6. That was a good one. A good Mikey point and laugh. All right, edit in the laugh again. Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah,
See, Mikey,
or
aren't
as
you happy
Ethan
we're
always,
recording this early in the morning now?
Ethan
Yes.
always says when I was at his place and we were recording stuff together, it's just like, Ethan, edit this, and he's just like, you got it, pal.
Yeah. That's me, pal. What was I saying, though?
Gramps has been frozen
John's
for
also
1,000
like-
years.
John's also like, oh yes, and at this particular theater, you can get a small popcorn and a large Coke. Everybody has to get the large one. He like pressured us all to get large, so all of us had like an extra large pop. I thought that I was the only one with a completely full bladder halfway through the movie.
Oh yeah, and we wanted to see the sub, but it was a dub. And
Yes,
it's
it
like,
was the sub of the dub, but John like convinced all of us to get these large drinks. I thought I had to pee really bad like halfway through the movie,
oh yeah.
and I was like itching uncomfortably in my seat, and the movie just kept going.
You were doing the potty dance.
Yeah, pretty much. But like, I remember like as soon as I got out, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go right to the bathroom, and then all of us are walking quickly. And I think I thought I was unique in my plan, but all 5 of us take an immediate beeline to the bathroom at the same time.
Everybody was struggling.
And so I was like, okay, so all of us had the same problem. But then
Right,
John
so
is like,
make
doing
sure
his
to get. There are exactly 4 blue coins in this area, and they're all up top. And there are only 2 episodes where you can get them, so make sure to grab them while you're down here.
Don't tell me what to do.
Don't threaten me with a good time. So especially half-naked Robin from
Is
Fire
that some
Emblem.
dumb thing I'm too sub to understand?
What?
Never mind that. I got that backwards. Mikey, cut that.